Pizza delivery drivers? Who was your favorite customer you delivered to? Mrs. Holloway lived in this beat-up yellow house at the end of Maple Street. Every single Thursday at exactly 6 p.m., she'd order the same thing: small mushroom and olive pizza with extra napkins. Always paid in exact change down to the penny. But here's the weird part. Instead of tipping me cash like a normal person, she'd hand me a $1 scratch-off ticket. First time it happened, I thought it was kinda sweet. Like maybe she forgot to grab cash or something. Second time, I figured she was just being quirky. By the third week, I was honestly getting pissed. Like who tips with lottery tickets? I got bills to pay, not gambling addiction to feed. But then one Thursday, I scratched the ticket in my car after leaving her house. $50. I nearly choked on my energy drink. Next week, $2. Week after that, nothing. But I kept going back, half out of pity for this lonely old lady, half because maybe I'd hit again. Over time, I started actually talking to her instead of just grabbing the money and running. Her husband died 2 years ago from cancer. He used to buy scratch-offs every week and say, "One day these will hit big and we'll see the world together." They never won anything major, but she kept buying them after he passed. Said it made her feel like he was still around somehow. She'd always invite me in when it was raining, which happened a lot that winter. Her house smelled like old books and lavender soap. She had photos everywhere of her and her husband traveling to random places: the Grand Canyon, some beach in Florida, a casino in Vegas where they looked super young and happy. One Thursday night in February, I showed up with her usual order. House was completely dark, but her car was in the driveway. I rang the bell like 10 times. Nothing. Started getting this sick feeling in my stomach, so I called the non-emergency police line. This neighbor lady came over while I was waiting and told me Mrs. Holloway got taken to the hospital the day before. Apparently she fainted in her kitchen and hit her head pretty bad. The neighbor found her hours later when she came to check on her. I felt so guilty for some reason, like maybe if I'd checked on her more or something. So that weekend, I drove to the hospital to see how she was doing. When she saw me walk into her room, her whole face just lit up. We talked for like 3 hours about everything: her husband, my plans after high school, why people buy lottery tickets when the odds suck so bad. Before I left, she grabbed my hand and made me promise I'd deliver her usual order the second she got home. I said obviously I would. 5 weeks went by. No Thursday orders from Maple Street. I started driving past her house sometimes just to see if any lights were on. Then one Thursday night, her name popped up in our delivery system again. I grabbed that pizza and drove way too fast to get there. She looked super thin and tired, but she smiled exactly the same way, gave me the biggest hug, and handed me a scratch-off like always. "My lucky delivery boy," she said. I scratched it in my car before even starting the engine. $250,000. I just stared at the ticket for like 5 minutes. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold it. I ran back to her door and knocked until she answered. "Mrs. Holloway, this ticket," I started, but she just smiled. "Told you one day it would hit big," she said, like she knew this would happen eventually. I was expecting her to cry or freak out or something, but she just invited me in for tea like it was any other Thursday. "Now promise me something," she said as we sat in her tiny kitchen. "Anything. Use it for something your heart actually wants. Not just bills or stuff you think you should buy." 6 months later, I quit the pizza place. Used the money to buy a food truck. I only serve one thing: Mrs. H's mushroom and olive special. Every Thursday, I give out one free pizza to a random customer along with a scratch-off ticket.